morning, you guys. What's going on? How goes it? Yes, I'm in my iPad. I'm at work. Hands free. I'm driving. How are you guys doing, man? Ladies and gents, how are you guys? How have things been going for you? How's life? Do you think about your life? Or are you only thinking about bills and what you gotta eat the next day? Is that it? I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. But just asking if that's all you think of. I asked that question because I used to think that way. And when I did, it put me in a tight grip where I couldn't think of anything else beyond that. And it's stressful. I don't like that type of stress. There's such thing as good stress, and then there's bad stress. Are we aware of the type of stress that we put on ourselves? You know, like working out, there's stress on the body, but it's good stress, right? So, take that. If you try to do better with budgeting your time, your money, your relationships, there's stress that comes with that, but it's good stress. And then there's bad stress where you're only thinking about the worst case scenario, and it becomes your fuel to do some things, and it's more stressful, and you're not as joyous while doing it. So, how's your life? That's just a little check-in, but that's not what this video is about. I wanted to talk about forgiveness. That is so huge. It's huge. I'm telling you, it's huge. And you know, my quick little 1-minute video, I talked about, you know, forgiving others out, you know, that wronged you. Okay, that's one thing. Now here's on the other end. This is the part 2 to that video. Have you sought forgiveness for something that you've done? I wonder. Are there things in your life that you have dusted under the rug, and it's like, well, I ain't gotta tell nobody. This ain't gonna harm nobody if I don't tell them. You know, so nobody gonna ever know. We good. Have you ever had one of those type of things? I have. I'm sure I've had a few of them, but 2 came up. And I'm sharing this with you guys to help you guys understand the importance of it. And yes, I should have done it sooner. Like when it happened, actually I should have done it. It should never happen at all, but it did. Okay. So one of them, I'm not going to be descriptive of anything. I'm going to be transparent. Performed an act in this place, and by doing so, I took advantage of my power there. And you know, and it showed that I wasn't respecting the owner of this building. And you know, it was one of those things where, you know, this is you're living life, having fun, dust under the rug, right? Let it go. Nobody has to know anything. We good. Nope. Holy Spirit said, "Hey Vince, you remember that moment?" I'm like, "Oh yeah. What's up?" Like, "Yeah, I need you to go confess that." What you mean? Yeah, go on, handle your business. Until then, I'm like, hold on, wait. You sure I don't have to say something else? Anything else? And silence. So when that came up, I realized that God was saying to me, "Hey, I don't need you to figure it out if it's going to work. All I need you to do is to be obedient." I'm like, all right. So I go tell the person. Now, this act happened years ago, okay? This business is no longer, okay? But I had to go tell the person because it was on my conscience. And it was a little bit of a hesitation, but I knew I had to do it. I did it, I did it. Every time I called this person, they were with their family, and it was really difficult to get to them, to tell them, because I'm like, I don't want to talk to them about this with their family around. I want one-on-one, Finally got it. So it took me about 2 weeks to finally get this time, And told them they were cool. They're like, hey man, I'm not gonna hold you to that. There's water under the bridge. I'm like, thank you, man, but I just want to let you know, like, I felt bad about it. I'm sorry that I even did that. I didn't respect the rules and the boundaries of this place, and I didn't respect you. And that's where I really am convicted about. The person was cool. They weren't sweating me on it. They were saying it's all good. And then they gave me this jewel, this nugget. And this is for my peeps who like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Shout out to y'all. So if you got to this point in the series when Aang is talking to that monk who's like kind of cuckoo about accessing his avatar state, but what's needed for that, he had to get rid of shame, guilt, like the person he loves the most, all those type of things. And for Aang, that wasn't easy, right? But my homie brought this up and said, the chakra points, and when you have something blocking your energy to flow, it gets built up. You can't access that other area. So shame was not allowing you to access that other area. So I had to get rid of shame because it was a shameful act, okay, for me. And he brought that up. I was like, man, like, you are my twin. Like, you gave me a reference that you knew that I could understand. And it's through a cartoon series that's amazing, and it's so dope that I think everybody should watch. Kids, teenagers to adults, because there's so many nuggets in there. It's like watching a Disney movie. It's fun at first, it's all cool, and then when you get older, you actually hear the things they drop in there. Some stuff are funny, some things are real subtle, some things are passive, some things are really good, right? So there's a lot of good stuff in there, and in Avatar, it's just like that. But obviously, there's more nuggets in there than it is in anything passive. Okay. So, anyways, that was the first one. The second one, not the same act, but the same thing. I wasn't respecting the rules of where I lived. So this is when I was smoking weed at the time. I had one of those vape pens, the THC vape pens, and this person was not fond of weed at all. I mean, he hated this stuff. He doesn't like it. Right? He said, I don't remember if he said it to me or directly, but passively about somebody else who lived with him at the time. He said, I don't care if you do it, man. I do care, but I don't care. But if you're going to do it outside. Don't do it inside the house. Right? That was basically the rule. So I didn't do that. Now, I wasn't like in my room just doing it. What I would do is I would go to the window and blow it out the window, right? So that way the smell's not inside. Now, if anybody knows vape pens, any type of vape pen, it's not strong. It's not a very strong smell. It doesn't leave a strong smell. Now, is there a smell? Yes. I'm saying it's not as strong. But anyways, blow out the window. It's one of those things where I'm like, I ain't gotta tell nobody. It won't hurt nobody if they don't know. But it was more like, yeah, Vince, but you did it. Vincent, you did it. So it's gonna hurt you. And so I had to look back at myself. I had to really see me in the whole thing of what God was showing me and what I needed to walk through and the importance of it. And so I had to reach out to that person and do the same thing. Now this one shook me because, I was in their home, and there's rules in people's homes, there's rules. You want to be respectful as possible. So, anyways, I told him. He respected the fact that I told him. He did. He's like, I'm just, like, he said a joke. It was like, what did he say? I think he said disrespect. I don't know. Total disrespect. I don't know. But he said it in a joking manner. So, you know. But he was commending me on being respectful about coming clean about it. He was like, I see that. And he gave me another little thing. He said, I see that you're coming clean and you're doing your soul's work. And sorry, I got distracted. I saw some deers about to cross the highway, and that's could be a death trap. So anyways, he's like, I see that you're doing your spiritual walk. So, you know, I can tell this is part of it. But, you know, like, it's all good, man. Like, you know, he told me. And then he told me about the person he told that to originally. And that person kind of kept defending the fact that he wanted to do it, but started throwing in statistics about these things and this and that, and totally dismissing what the person was saying to him. He was saying, listen, I don't care about the statistics. These are the rules in the house. There are no statistics about this in the house. That's a whole nother world. This is the world here. Respect the rules. And so I was coming in to say, hey man, I'm sorry for not being respectful of the rules. I apologize, because that's popping up for me. So I'm walking this forgiveness journey. I'm walking this area. You know what I mean? So I bring this up to you guys to ask, what comes up for you when I talk about these things? The things that you dusted under the rug, the things that randomly pop up into your head. You're like, oh yeah, I did that. And then when you really think about that, you're like, oh crap, I did that. Why did I do that? When I knew I shouldn't have. Why did I do that? And was it under somebody else's area where you shouldn't be crossing the boundaries? I was trespassing. So I bring that up to you to say, if those type of memories are popping up for you, as I'm talking about my testimonies and stuff, if it's popping up and that person's on your heart as I'm talking about it, reach out to them. Tell him you're sorry. Tell him I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. And ask for forgiveness. They forgave me, so I'm released from it. And it feels great because I don't have to think about it now. It's no longer going to consciously convict me. So, reach out to them, guys. If it scares you, do it. Simple as that. If it scares you to do it, because you got to confess something. You got to show what you did and that you're human, that you make mistakes. You're not perfect. Even in your friendships, you're not perfect, okay? So, reach out to them. Let them know, you guys. Let them freaking know that you made a mistake and you did something wrong. If you let them know, the sooner the better. You will be released. You will be conscious free. And that person can't hold it against you. Now, last thing. It does not mean, sorry, I'm moving away. I'm working. It does not mean that it's going to be as easy as that for you, because that person may not want to talk to you for a while. So I'm talking with my back turned, you guys, while I am working. They may not want to talk to you for a while. Hey, it's okay. Let them put you in jail for a time. It's okay. Let them put your friendship on a hiatus for right now. It's okay. It's for a time. Okay? Just do it and be obedient. And watch what God does in your life. He will free you from something that you're slave to right now. Okay? I give this to you guys out of love and out of obedience. I'm going to share these things with you as I talk about the journey of forgiveness and why it's so important for the other person, including you. Love you guys. Deuces.